so long, and I've sang it for so many audiences.
What's funny, I can't tell if it's because of the camera movements or the angle, but it feels like he's getting tinier and tinier as the interview goes.
Maybe he's like reverse Pinocchio, and the more he lies, the smaller some parts of him gets.
Yeah. Let's get to some Cory. This is what y'all came for. Let's get to some Cory already.
This looks like a Lord of the Rings camera perspective trick.
Right?
like, you know, when like Frodo and Gandalf are in the wagon and then you see how it was really filmed? That's what I feel like I'm looking at right now.
This unreleased Cory Feldman interview. So this is from Connote Films, which, I mean, apparently has 70,000 subscribers. This video has 280 views. It's been up for 10 days. Back in 2017, I had the opportunity to not only work with Cory Feldman, but to also interview him in person. Check out this never-before-seen interview with the one and only Cory Feldman.
Maybe it's just a really big chair. Maybe that's what it is.
It really does look like Oliver Twist or some shit. Now, apparently this interview, I think he sets it up here in the beginning, but this interview was done at 4 in the morning. I wonder why. Just a couple guys hanging out till 4 a.m. Definitely not doing any alleged misdeeds to be up that late. And then someone had the idea like, let's just get the microphone. This should be an interview.
Yeah, them's interviewing hours, Jim.
We should just record this.
Michael Jackson, going back, did he influence you a lot growing up?
I mean, I think that's kind of obvious, and you know.
I like even not to pause it immediately, but even Cory's like, "Are you serious with that fucking question?
Do you know me?"
Or maybe expect him to be like, "Actually, I influenced him."
The crazy thing is that people more and more tell me that I look like him.
What's up, my friends?
Oh, that actually is a great teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say I'm a spitting image. It's like he's still alive. I love this guy is one of these rooms. This is a cool YouTuber room. You can't deny it, Mike.
That's true.
Guys, I know it's been a minute. It's been a long minute. It's actually been almost an entire year.
Wait, is this guy doing a
since
character?
I uploaded a video to
I don't think he is.
the channel, which is really, really sad. But the good news is my video business has been continuing to grow year after year, and I'm super busy. But this year, I really do want to make more content. As some of you may or may not know, back in 2017, Cory was looking for a video editor, and one of my buddies put my demo reel out on his Twitter account. And out of all people who submitted demo reels to Cory Feldman, he picked me. Me. In the middle of Missouri, like nowhere me. I was so honored, and I still am till this day, because I can tell you, I'm still friends with Cory, and I'm still doing video work for him till this day.
Let me tell you right now, he's not friends with you after you put this video up.
No.
You're not doing him a service here.
As a matter of fact, last summer, me and my fiance got to go up to the Limp Bizkit tour called Loserville Tour, and I got to hang out with Cory, of course, and Fred.
Wait, where's your fiance?
Yeah, I don't see him in the picture anywhere.
Yeah, where is this guy?
Where is he? Where could he be?
You see, after working with Cory for a while, he was in my area, and I said, Cory, you know what I would absolutely love? And he said, what? I said, I would love to interview you if that's cool. And he said, absolutely, dude, you can interview me.
You know, this is such a great interview because it's been sitting on an external hard drive, forgotten for 8 years. And it's like, oh shit, I still have this?
Hey, did those guys get their channel deleted 3 times? Now people are talking about this guy? I guess I could throw this up for 200 people.
What I didn't expect was interviewing him at 4 o'clock in the morning at his condo that he was staying at. So here it is, guys, the never-before-seen interview with Cory Feldman in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, 2018, back when he was touring with the Angels.
Now, real quick, obviously we're not a huge channel, but if I could throw some advice your way, Christopher Connote or Connote Films, it took way too long to get to the interview. We didn't need to hear any of this bullshit that you just fucking did. Or maybe if you wanted to set the time and place, you could have done that like immediately, brother.
Yeah,
we're here to see the fucking Feld Dog, not whatever the fuck this is in your cool YouTube room that you wanted to show off.
What's up, everybody? Chris Connote here with Connote Films, and it's happening right now. It's actually happening. I'm sitting here right next to the one and only Cory Feldman. Cory, how you doing, man? Cory is on one amazing tour right now, your summer tour. Cory,
One amazing tour after another.
Exactly.
I think it's more like it, right?
Absolutely.
We met on the last tour, now we're on this tour.
Now, again, I can't stress it enough. Like, I love, you can hear how late it is in their voice.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I don't know. This is all alleged, but all I can imagine is them two and whoever's filming this blowing lines and then someone being like, we got the camera. We got a microphone. let's fucking do it. This is, and they probably were telling a story to each other, like something really boring and stupid. And
Wait, stop.
and then, oh my God, save it. We got to put this down. This will be great on YouTube. They'll love it.
Tour around the corner. It's the season of touring.
Cory, tell us a little bit how like this tour came to be.
Well, that's a very leading question, Chris. I mean, it's, you know, a
Into what?
natural progression. When you release an album, you tour, right?
So he
that's
thinks Chris
just
is
kind of a
retarded?
given.
Oh, he's doing the thing he does where he has to big league every interviewer that asks him
Big time in this guy, yeah.
a simple question, because clearly Chris wasn't smart enough to ask that question to actually, yes, lead you into talking about your album, lead you to talking about your process. Just being, I don't know, you stupid sack of shit, I guess, because I got a fucking album I got to support. I got bills to pay.
And when you put out a product, you got to go support it and promote it. So this album has certainly gotten enough promotion. I mean, I would say that this is certainly the first album I've ever released that is known as part of mainstream pop culture knowledge.
Nope.
Jim and them are pop culture, bro.
Is he talking about Angelic to the Core?
It's got to be, right?
Because no one knows that but us. No one knows
Yeah.
that.
I mean, well, I think that he's just chalking it up to, because you know how he always positively talks about the Today Show?
Yeah.
He's kind of like
yeah.
trying to take it back, like that was a good thing for him.
Which is cool, you know, because I certainly can't say, I mean, they may know my other album titles now, but like back when those albums came out, they didn't know them. You know, the hardcore fans knew, and they were like, I mean, like a very, very small percentage of the hardcore fans knew
Right.
as they came out. But anyway, so I've toured on every album I've released, is the short form story there. So even when it's Truth Movement, I've released, you know, a Truth Movement album, Truth Movement tours. I do a solo album, I do a solo tour. But it is the first tour with the Angels.
Yes, and tell me, how did the Angels come to be?
Oh.
There you go. Now
Yes.
that's the question.
Why girl Angels?
Why?
So that's a better question.
I like
Well,
how he got Corey's take. That's my question. He's like, wait, I'm not done. Why girl angels?
well, yeah, we need to unpack. There was layers of what just happened. Because first of all, that's not a better question than
No,
how did
it's
this tour
not.
come about. Because now he's like, yeah, finally, the meat of why we're here. But then when he did the follow-up, why Girl Angels, I was like, oh shit, I've been found out.
Fuck.
I'm trying to hook up with needy women.
Girl Angels? What? I think it would be really weird to have a bunch of guys up there in lingerie and wings, right?
Telling on himself.
But-
Yeah, telling
yeah.
himself in 2018 or 2017, this is Me Too era, my guy. Watch what you're saying, brother.
Hashtag everyone.
Okay, well, Cory's Angels is a brand that
Nope.
is a kind of bigger company.
Nope.
Which
like Smuckers
is
or
a
Minute Maid.
multifaceted
Yeah.
leg, multi-arm, whatever you want to call it, umbrella, where there is a record label, there is a studio, there is a management company, a production company, obviously our, you know, IT side of, you know, our presence on the web.
What, Heather Don
so
May?
there's
Yeah, Heather Dawn May. The streaming movie in your future that is immediately hacked as soon as you put it online.
Good thing he has his own division to cover that.
What's so great though is because he is talking about this as an empire. It's gone within like 2 years. It's for the way he's trying to build it up now. Like he barely wants anyone to remember this.
You know, so there's a lot of legs, arms, whatever to this company.
Absolutely.
So the Angel Band, as it were, is just one little piece of it. The Angelic to the Core album, which of course is kind of part and parcel for promoting the Angels, is that because it's all one and the same. It was made by Sci-Fi Records. Sci-Fi Records
okay.
is owned by Cory's Angels Inc. So therefore, Cory's Angels Inc. is kind of the Mac Daddy.
Oh,
Right.
now this all makes
Yeah,
sense.
now it makes
now I
complete
get it.
sense. All right. What's even better, and I mean, this happens all the time, and I think this is the draw of like why we can continue to watch Corey Feldman stuff over and over again, is I never get sick of someone like seriously talking about the stupidest thing in the world, like the most retarded thing you can think of, but they're talking about it and they're so sincere and they like really believe in it and they really like it.
But it gives them an opportunity to be the best versions of themselves that they can, to grow into the best versions of themselves that they can, and to be promoted very heavily while doing it. So, you know, that's the catch. If a girl's a Cory's angel, you can be pretty sure that millions of people are going to know your name within a very short amount of time.
I would challenge anyone to name, I mean, even most people to name his wife, but at least I get people could at least name his wife.
Yeah.
And mostly because Cory, Courtney, like they sound similar. But even us who are obsessed with Cory Feldman, we talk about him every week. I could not name one other angel.
No. Oh, Lucifer before he fell.
Yeah.
Before he fell down to hell.
Bartleby from Dogma.
Because we promote the hell out of every girl.
That's awesome. And Go For It is one of my favorite songs, probably ever.
Thank you.
Come on, guy. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
All anyone does, like, is just blow smoke.
Because I don't know what's more believable, that he has a lady fiance or that's his, or Go For It's his most favorite song.
Well, and also he didn't just say, love the album. Can you tell us about it?
Exactly.
It was like, love the album. Every track's perfect. I got to imagine that God himself wrote all the lyrics. Like, come on, slow down.
Yeah, you don't have to say my favorite song ever.
But they didn't really know what they were doing unless we like kind of spoon fed it to them. Like, okay, it's so simple. People knew It's So Simple because that was like the first one I wrote. So it was around so long and I've sang it for so many audiences.
What's funny, I can't tell if it's because of the camera movements or the angle, but it feels like he's getting tinier and tinier as the interview goes.
Maybe he's like reverse Pinocchio, and the more he lies, the smaller some parts of him gets.
Yeah. And he goes into the quantum realm by the end of it.
He's like Benjamin Button Pinocchio. Yeah, and he's down there with fucking Ant-Man fighting.
He fights Kang.
Yeah.
People, you know, eventually kind of started catching on to that one, and they caught on pretty fast because it's a very kind of memorable hook. But What's Up With The Youth was actually the first song that I would have random people come up to me and say to me,
"Oh, is he?
Like,
He's gonna
hey,
be mad at
Cory
Howard
Feldman,
Stern.
what's up with the youth?" You know, and I'd be like, "Weird," you know.
Yeah.
But that was the first one, and that was very pop culture.
Jim and them are pop culture, bro.
You know, it was a pop culture
You know
hit.
this.
We know that.
You know this.
We know that.
But that said, you know, Michael Jackson.
But I love that we're gonna hear the Michael Jackson story.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, again, I mean, I said this in the past, but the more I hear it, the more I'm there in the moment. Every time I hear it now, we're there. Me, you, and Jeff, we're all somewhere.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's in the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're in the front seat and they're in the back seat because we're their drivers.
We're on the couch, and they're like in front of that wall they took the picture in front of.
Yes. The more I hear this story, the more in my memory, it's a real thing, and we're all there witnessing it happen.
Played him the song, and he was like a huge fan of it and wanted to make it a hit. He told me that it was a #1 hit, guaranteed, and it would definitely be a hit, which I, of course, declined because I felt like it was not the way I wanted to go. You know, I didn't want to be like the protege of
It's getting smaller and
a
smaller.
one-hit wonder because
It really
you know,
does. It's fucking
MJ
insane.
backdoored me in and whatever. I wanted to like get there the hard way, work for it, prove it, you know, but earn my place. I wanted to earn my place. So it took me an extra 30 years, but I got there.
You might as well be sitting inside the Grand Canyon because that chair is so fucking huge.
That chair's huge.
It's
in
fucking
that.
insane.
Either the chair's getting bigger or you're getting
Yeah,
smaller.
it's baffling.
Michael Jackson, going back, did he influence you a lot growing up?
I mean, I think that's kind of obvious. And, you know, the weird thing is, yes, he did influence me. And yes, there was a period of time where I dressed very much like him. And I,
Period of time.
There continues to be a
you know,
period of
obviously my
time.
music, my dance, all of that were certainly affected by it. But the crazy thing is that people more and more tell me that I look like him. And I find that really fascinating because, like, first of all, I'm white. We all know this. I'm white.
Uh-oh.
And yeah,
There we
okay, we
go.
both have long black hair. But I mean, aside from the long black hair, but, you know, obviously the plastic surgery was a bit much,
Wait,
I
wait,
thought.
wait.
And
Am I to believe that Corey Feldman is taking one of his dead friends and dragging him through the mud?
Yeah.
He never
Well,
does this.
What's even better is because it seems like he's going down the path of people say I look like him. He looked like a fucking weirdo. What the fuck?
Why would you say that?
Why do you say that about me?
by his claim, it wasn't plastic surgery. He just kind of changed a lot, which is, obviously I've changed a lot because I know as a kid nobody would have told me I looked like Michael Jackson.
Right.
But it's almost like I feel like
I can't imagine a person that's never stopped looking identically more than Corey Feldman.
Only believe this story if he was talking about Charlie Sheen, because people say that all the time.
Yeah.
But now what I'm realizing, he's insinuating that Michael Jackson got plastic surgery to look like Cory. But he wouldn't know what I looked like, but it's kind of weird. Hold on, let me
It was
take
like
it back.
prescient.
altered himself to look like me naturally, but
Yeah, see, he is. We kind of missed that, but yeah, he's even crazier than we thought.
He went to one of those places where they age up a child who's been kidnapped, and they said, "Well, make me look like this guy will look in 20 years."
nobody would have told me I looked like. It's almost like I feel like he altered himself to look like me naturally, but I am naturally me.
I think what he's trying to get to is that it's almost the way he says, like, well, actually, Michael's trying to look like me in the future. And in a way, he's kind of trying to plant the seed of like, but Michael's kind of copying my dances and my performances and my songs.
I didn't know.
Corey looks like a legitimate little person. I just
He really does.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the longer this interview goes, I feel like I'm being hypnotized or something. It's
And,
crazy.
Well, it's funny because again, like we always talk about how fair we are. I feel like we keep trying to make excuses for him, where we're like, no, it's just the chair's big, the angle's wrong, but it's like he looks,
something's happening.
he looks ridiculous.
It's getting worse the longer it goes. It's crazy.
I mean, this is for no one unless you've been on the Warner Brothers studio tour. But if you go on the Warner Brothers studio tour, they have a Lord of the Rings area where they have a camera set up and they have forced perspective, and it looks like they've set that up for this. We're trying to help him here, but like he's not doing himself any favors with how small he looks.
I was always doing music throughout it all. See, that's what people fail to
This
realize.
lie.
That I started.
I remember, but
I started singing at 3. I was singing to get my jobs. I mean, my mom would have me learn songs, and then I would go in and audition by singing, because at 3 years old you can't read a script, so there was no way to get the part other than proving that you could be cute. So what better way to prove that you're cute than having a kid sing some song? So I would sing, and then I started getting jobs doing like musicals and things like that. But I started writing parodies.
This camera
And I
guy
wrote my
doing?
first serious song.
Suck
Yeah,
at everything I
A
do.
lot of movement for an interview in somebody's living room at 4 a.m.
Yeah, just giving us a fucking tour of the condo during the interview.
Jesus Christ.
I did Runaway, and then the very next song I wrote, I believe, is It's So Simple.
Do you think Courtney's filming this interview, by the way? Maybe it's Courtney.
And she's just losing her balance, and that's why it keeps moving around so much.
And then after It's So Simple, the very
It's
next
impossible
song I
to
wrote was
unsee, though,
Something in
right?
Your
There's
Eyes.
so much
So
camera movement.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like Batman Begins.
those were like the first 3. And then from there, I just kept writing and recording. And I
Yeah,
probably
it's like one of those one-shot movies where they have
Yeah.
to keep like kind of fucking zipping around.
Yeah, I'm watching fucking Netflix Daredevil over here.
put together at least an album, if not 2 albums worth of material between 15 and 18. And unfortunately, due to my, little black year, my year of darkness, as we call it.
What?
You know what they
where
call
I,
that? The
did
little
drugs.
black
It was an
year?
awful thing.
When he did drugs.
Yeah, the 1 year,
myself
the
in
little
there.
black
Yeah, that's
year.
true.
It was a year of depravity, and during that time, I lost everything. I mean, I had so much material, and I didn't pay attention. I didn't keep track of things, and who knows where it went. But anyway, at the end of the day, it was all gone, and I had to start from scratch. So
It went to 25
I then
balloons
went
of
and got
heroin a day.
sober, and when I got sober at 19 years old is when I really kind of hunkered down and started recording my first album. The songs that were in the movie obviously are in the movie, but we don't even have masters of those. And then the even crazier part is the rest of that music that I was recording in those early days. Like, some of it's gone forever, but some of it I had saved on 2-inch master tapes, which
Oh
of
my
course that
God.
became no longer the tradition, and people started using digital, and nobody used these anymore. So they sat in
Why
my
didn't this guy
garage
put
for
this interview up
decades.
sooner?
Right?
I know this. We must have said this before, but every interview just devolves into excuse after
Yeah.
excuse of stuff that no one's even cares about.
I had a million great songs, but then I became a drug addict and now they're all gone. So I've got this. This is what I got left over. I'm sorry. This is what you got.
And yeah, because backing up to like when I was being super fair about how, hey, it's our bad for watching all these interviews over and over again. No, this is his bad. There's no use in bringing this up. This is not really relevant at all. I mean, I get he's talking about his music career, but no one cares. We don't care about the songs you made when you were 16. We're talking about the tour. We're talking about your new album. Why do you have to be like, but then we lost this. This was great. You should have heard the old stuff. It was so cool.
I had all these great things that just I can't even prove they ever existed in the first place.
But don't worry, man. Maybe it hasn't happened yet, but Cory, let me tell you, Don Dawkin is going to teach you about how to bake those tapes, bro. You're going to get those masters back.
This Cory doesn't even know. This little marionette has no idea what's in his future.
Just decades, these giant master tapes with all like the original Raucous Danny Part 2, which there was originally
Raucous Danny 2.1.
All these songs that nobody's ever heard. And
we own them now. They're in a box set that we have. Yeah, you know what? Thinking about it from this point of view, though, like say you are a Jake Perry, like an idiot, like a stupid piece of shit.
I'll try and put myself in those shoes somehow.
I mean, I'm sorry, Jake. I know you're listening. We want to be friends with you. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
This is just friendly jabs. But say you are a Jake Perry, or like someone that you really like is all of a sudden like, we got all this music back we thought we lost. We're putting out a box set. You'd be like, holy fucking shit, this is great. The only problem with Cory is that it's literally like 10 people are the ones that are like, holy fucking shit, this rules. Everyone else is like, wait, what is that? Who did this? Huh?
Hey, now you can finally hear this stuff I've been talking about for 30 years. It sucks.
Yeah, you know what? It was
It's
better.
almost better if it stays
It
long.
was Schrodinger's cat or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
leave it in the box, dude.
Yeah, bro.
It was dead the whole time.
The mystery is what makes it.
It was much better when we didn't know the cat was dead.
Oh, God.
So we're trying to doctor my old recordings to see if we can't salvage them. And if we can, then that will be my next project musically, is I'm going to be doing a 25th anniversary re-release of my first album, Love Left.
Yeah.
Dude, can you
With,
imagine
like, all
if he
these-
was able to, like, sell that for 6 years as a box set?
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine if you got 300 of those and somehow tried to sell them for the next 5 years?
Little does he know, right now, as we're looking at him in this giant chair that he's getting smaller in, he just monkey pawed that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because little does he realize, like, oh my God, the idea of this is great. But number one, you're going to ruin the allure of this lost music because
Yeah.
now we realize it sucks.
Yeah.
Number two, he is now chained to lugging around box sets everywhere he goes.
And we're actually talking about creating a box set of this whole thing because I think we're going to have that much material, and that box set will include
Oh, my God.
a live
This is actually kind of great because we are seeing the seeds of what are to come.
This is what I love. I mean, I mentioned it before, but I love going through these old interviews because, again, it's like a prequel. We get to see the seeds of disasters that await him in his future.
Oh, my
So
God.
it'll be like one disc which will be remixed and remastered, and then another disc which will be like reproduced versions of the old songs, and then another disc of like unreleased material. So it could be a lot of fun. That sounds
Would you want to put like a bad magazine in there? We're still discussing things. Like if we could fit a bad magazine in there, then
What
we'll put
about-
a bad magazine in there.
Do you think about putting maybe some candy or treats in there? Would that be a cool
Have you
idea?
thought about putting like Starbursts or Band-Aids in there?
And a lot of that was inspired by your video, actually. Because you made that great montage video, which, after I sat down and kind of watched it a few times, and then when I played it for the audiences and I saw the reaction it was getting, they were getting so hyped up and so excited. And I'm like, what is it that they're so excited about? What they're so excited about is remembering all these moments that they've seen, right? Going like, oh yeah, his music was in that, and oh yeah, he was in that video, and oh yeah, he was on that concert, and da 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 da, and that song was in that movie. And like, I think when they draw all those connections, it gives them like a feeling like they're back home. Or
Is
they're
Cory
in that,
thinking
like,
that he
sweet
just
spot.
like that nostalgia doesn't exist and he's discovering nostalgia?
Yeah.
He's describing it like it's this thing that he's like, no, I figured this thing out, by the way. This thing that you may not have noticed.
On one hand, he's on the right track. He should be cashing in on nostalgia, but he's cashing in on nostalgia that doesn't exist for him.
Yeah, the wrong nostalgia.
Yes, he should be cashing in on the Goonies, Stand By Me, Ninja Turtles, whatever the fuck. But like that's what he gets upset about. And he'll be like, no, what about McDonald's? What about my singing I've been doing since I was 3?
During a set, which one is the most meaningful to you? That's a tough question.
Is it?
I mean, look, they're all meaningful. They all have their own special thing. You know, like, I would say Go For It is probably one of my least favorite to perform.
Really?
Whoa.
And the reason why is because it's at the end of the set. You have to do it at the end of the set because it's kind of the biggest hit. Or it is the biggest hit. And then also it just depends on the audience. If the audience isn't giving us enough of a reaction and we're bored with the audience, we may cut the set short.
Whoa.
You know, we change every
Jesus
night.
Christ.
I guess beggars can be choosers. Jesus. Can't believe he's even saying that. It's one thing that
Yeah,
you think
to
that
think it and do it, but to say it?
Depending on how big the audience is and what they're giving us back. But if it's, 500 people to start off, and then by the end it's dwindled down to like 100 people, and they're like, we're just like done. The bottom line
If
is
they're nice enough to
feed off
pretend
the
we're not
audience, and
bad,
that's
fuck them.
Yeah, fuck off. Are you
Eat shit.
serious?
I don't mind doing it, but tonight I was like a little reluctant because, again, I have to space things out. We're doing 6 shows a week.
Sure.
So with a 2-hour show, you have to be so careful about pushing yourself too far.
A
the
2-hour
first night,
show, dude.
Because
That
if you
sounds
blow
like a
your voice,
nightmare.
then you're screwed for the
6
rest of the
shows
week.
a
right?
week.
So, it's all about baby steps and spoon feeding, and it takes a lot of discipline.
And
What
Cory,
you
I
got to
one
do
last
is you got to
question
go out
for
there
you.
and phone
How does it feel to be
in.
responsible for?
You know what? People already don't like me. I might as well phone in my concerts.
You got to phone it in and look for excuses to end early and not try your best.
What, that song you came here for? Maybe you don't even get it.
Or creating gremlins and taking over an entire town?
I don't take that credit. The responsibility lies with Steven Spielberg, Christopher Columbus, and Joe Dante. And I'm sure they feel pretty nice about it.
Cory, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Seriously, this whole experience has just been amazing.
I wish
to
Cory
connect
laughed
with
like that
you.
more often.
Yeah.
I'd probably
And-
like him
and-
more.
It does sound more like a genuine hearty laugh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for all your hard work and for being a solid guy and making sure you got stuff done and delivered in time for us. I know I gave you some crazy deadlines
Wow.
sometimes.
He but
I'm
also,
waiting for the dig. Where's the dig?
I mean, even if there's not a dig, he probably was a dick about it, and he paid this guy nothing.
Yeah.
It's time to look at Cory's Twitter.
Fuck yeah.
I didn't go through a ton of this. I only have this one, and it's not even really his tweet that's that funny. It's just the audacity of this guy's response.
Okay. I like it. I love when people show audacity.
The audacity
Oh,
of
there
this
she is. There's
dude.
my girl with her Cobra Kai tattoo.
And yeah, the tattoo plays a part in the tweet here. Back in the buzz of the birds and bees of springtime, and the paps caught us enjoying ourselves. Oh no. And someone just says, Cory, have you jizzed on the cobra? Class all the way. You put the ass in class. First of all, don't even respond to this.
Why did he respond to that?
Shout out to Tommy the Cat. I have to assume you're a fan. If you're not, I wish you were. Tommy the Cat. Cory, have you jizzed on the cobra?
Why on earth would he respond to that?
Class all the way. You put the ass in class. Cory, don't lie to me. You lazzed jazz all over the Cobra Taz.
What is happening right now? What reality are we in?
What happened to block and ignore?
Jesus Christ. Good Lord.
We the comeback kings. You can't silence these things. Try to strike us, strike with a swing. Better make it sting, cause we the comeback kings. Take the show off the air, they gonna stream it.